So let me ask you this question. How often do you find yourself scrolling through social media? You start feeling like you're just not stacking up with your fellow investors. Everybody's making so much more money. Everyone else is getting hilariously rich. They're driving the Beamers, the Lambos. Okay, you got the Prius. Their bags are full of Bitcoins. Your bags? Full of shitcoins down 99%. They're gonna retire at 40. Meet their soulmate. Sail off into the sunset with their beautiful kids and passive income to last until they're 1,000 years old thanks to technological longevity that they can afford because they have the money. You'll lose everything. Settle for an AI girlfriend, bunk in your mother's basement. If you ever felt this way, then welcome to the you're not failing while everyone else in crypto seems to make more money than you session today, okay? I'm gonna do surgery on your mind, give you 7 different reasons why you're not the loser that you might think you are. I know the recency bias in the market and prices being down might make you feel bad, okay? But I'll show you why this perception that you might have is not correct and that everyone in crypto is more successful than you is not necessarily always true, okay? Let's dive in.
And that is that. But this isn't the end. No way. We're gonna show this world a thing or two. We're gonna show...
Number 1, survivorship bias skews the truth. So survivorship bias is a logical error that pretty much all of us do all the time. Basically focus on the winners and ignore the losers because we as humans are constantly trying to figure out how we can do better, how we can survive, because the losers tend to hide away from everyone else and be forgotten biologically by time. So out of sight, out of mind. The problem, however, is that all of this creates a pretty misleading picture of reality, especially on social media, which tends to be the worst place to check in on how reality is actually going. Then when we have a setback, it's easy to become too self-critical because survivorship bias tells us that we're the world's only dum-dum, okay? But in reality, the vast majority of everyone else are in this pretty similar positions to us, okay? Most people make a wide variety of mistakes and have all kinds of misgivings about how well they're doing in life because you're always comparing to others and stuff like that.
You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
Number 2, social media definitely amplifies the illusion. So if survivorship bias is a raging fire, then social media is dropping a cruise missile on top of it, filled with gasoline. In fact, if you want to understand exactly what isn't reality, then just go and look at social media. So much of what you see is complete bullshit. Look, it's human nature for us to want to show off the good, hide away the bad. I get it. That's why anytime someone hits it big in crypto, say they make a 100x trade, they're telling the world via social media about it. But how many people do the same when they get stopped out, when they lose big time? Or when they grind all day for normal money, when they take way too much risk and lose their shirts? Almost none of them. So there's a lesson here. And that's to stop comparing yourself to anything you're seeing on social media because you're only seeing one side of it. It's the fantasy version of reality that people present to the world. If you're basing your happiness off of that, then you're deluding yourself against an impossible standard.
The last thing I took away from the yeshiva is this. We can't run from who we are. Our destiny chooses us.
Number 3, your end game isn't theirs. You're playing a different game. When you see someone bragging about a massive win, you might feel like you're falling behind. But remember, you have your life plan. They have theirs. And those plans probably aren't the same. And you're at different stages of the game. Somebody who's got $10 million can make different levels of trades compared to you at $100,000 or $10,000. Therefore, there's no reason to feel bad about yourself, no reason to feel jealousy of their success. If anything, look at people's success as being inspirational. They're all just regular people too. You can do the same thing, but you're on a different path and you have to carve your own path here. So be happy for others when they get their wins. Recognize that they're running down their path and you have to follow your path and then keep doing what you need to do in order to achieve your goals. By the way, if you want to achieve better trading goals, you want to have an exchange that's going to support you to do that, where you can long the markets when they're pumping, short the markets when they're dumping, because there's always money to be made trading the markets. BitUnix is a great place to do that. Look, I know some of you guys live in places where it's not so easy to access great exchanges. Well, guess what? BitUnix is a no KYC, no VPN, no BS exchange. All you have to do is click on the link down below and you can start trading. It's as simple as that. Right now, they're running a special promotion as well. You get $10 for free just on sign up. You get 20% deposit bonus. You put $1,000 and you get $200 back. And of course, you can get $2,000 in trading bonuses if you start actually doing some good trading over there on BitUnix. They got all the top pairs over there. Whatever you want to trade, they got you covered. Link down below. Go check it out if, of course, you are a cryptocurrency trader. So, number 4, you never see the full story. So here's the setup. You're on Instagram. You see someone who you've never met post a photo from some luxurious vacation and then detail how they funded it from their crypto trades. Then you feel bad about yourself. Why wasn't that you? Why didn't you take more profits? You could be the guy on the beach with the girl, man. Whatever conclusions you're drawing from that post, I can guarantee you that they're probably wrong because you're not seeing the full story. Maybe that person's full of shit. They're inventing success in an effort to build a social media presence. Or maybe they're telling you the truth, but what you don't see is the sacrificed health, the sacrificed relationships, the freedom over months, over years, losing and losing and losing and losing again and again and again and again to start winning, right? That's an iceberg that you're seeing, filled up with a lot of pain and suffering usually to get there. Or maybe their personal life's just an absolute train wreck. They're addicted to drugs and their girlfriend's an OF girl, who knows? Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. My point is that little picture you have in your mind of someone else who's out there living the perfect life, it's just not real. Everyone's got problems, everyone's got stress, everyone's got issues, and a bunch of money doesn't magically make all that stuff disappear. In fact, money creates whole new issues, and people with lots of money just have bigger problems, often related to money. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
15,000. Time. I want him to think that I'm pondering a call, but all I'm really thinking about is Vegas and the fucking Mirage. Yeah, I'm gonna go all in because I don't think you got the spades.
Icy's full, Mike.
Number 5. FOMO clouds your judgment. Now this one's super relevant for the cryptocurrency space. The fear of missing out can totally distort how you see yourself and really reality around you and how you see your fellow crypto investors as well. Here's how it works. You hear about a coin that's mooning. You see people bragging about their entry timing, how much money they made with it. Now you're kicking yourself for not jumping in when you could have, when you should have. You saw it, you knew, why didn't you do it? It feels like everyone's riding a wave that you missed. This is the big runner this week. Why didn't you get on board? Well, screw it, it's only up 1,000%. Time to jump in, right? But let's get real for a second. What that FOMO isn't telling you is that the people who bought the top and then got burned, okay? And once that thing corrects by 50%, guess what? No one wants to buy it again. Or what about the people who rode their paper gains from the bottom to the top to the bottom again? We've all been there and done that a few times before. What about the people who levered up too much and got liquidated, lost it all? A lot of people have lost literally everything this year through liquidations. So here's the truth. FOMO is just another one of these illusions that paints a picture of constant wins. But even the best aren't nailing every trade, and that's not a failure. That's just how the crypto markets work. It's a game of odds, and you got to keep playing if you want to win.
And then you just keep doing this again and again and again. Meanwhile, he thinks he's getting shit rich, which he is on paper. But you and me, the brokers, we're taking home cold hard cash via commission, motherfucker.
Right.
Number 6. Most gains are paper, not cash. Listen, a lot of crypto success stories you see on social media are just paper gains only. They're not cash in someone's pocket. So maybe your crypto portfolio isn't as big as theirs, but don't let that fool you. In this market, paper profit screenshots can vanish in just a few days. So don't fall for the mirage. Keep moving forward. Realize that your progress, even if modest, is sometimes actually more real than inflated boasting that you see on the internet. Remember too, always, as you probably learned recently, take your profits or the market will take them for you. It's real and it happens real fast.
Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Now for our last reason, number 7. Success doesn't happen overnight, not even in crypto. Now this industry is full of young people and things do move fast around here. And there's always the story about the guy who comes in with $10 and turns it into $100 million, but that's an extreme outlier rarity, okay? For most people, success does not happen quickly. Sure, you might get lucky, but the vast majority of people grind for years in order to build up some kind of financial success through constant trading and grinding and DYORing and finding new gems and all that bullshit. So if you've only been around here for a year or two and you're wondering, well, why am I not a multimillionaire yet? Keep working, okay? Understand that most people who have been successful in crypto, they've been here for years and they've gained an edge, they've gained skills. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day and neither will your portfolio be. There's no exception just because you're in crypto. Okay, these are my 7 reasons for why you're not failing at crypto, but instead you're just not seeing things for how they really are, to be honest. And remember that the fancy car or the 10 Bitcoin isn't how you win, but rather you win by setting your own goals, the things that you want to accomplish in life. Okay, taking care of your family, being happy, all that kind of stuff. And then you run down that path towards meeting those goals. The money is just a means to an end. And never forget that. The money in of itself is not the goal. The goal is more financial freedom, more safety for you and your family, all that kind of stuff. It's just a tool that helps you get there. Thanks for watching.